I think your defense held them to 74 yards and definitely 3 points in the second half. Did you feel like if the defense could kind of keep you in the game like that the offense would eventually break through?
You know, it's the first time we've trailed kind of at the half, and we didn't play great in all three phases to start the game. And so it was really a challenge to all three phases to play better and look more like themselves in the second half. And we knew that it was going to start with the defense finding a way to get a stop with that opening drive of the second half. And they were able to do that, which created some momentum. And then we kind of stalled out there a little bit. But then they just kept, finding ways to stop the run and get off the field. And then eventually, our offense looked like, what we're capable of with a 97-yard drive right there for a touchdown. And then, man, big play by JP there at the end, and then capitalizing on a special teams error by them. By the off returner making the invalid fair catch signal that put it on the 2, and then, man, pinning their ears back and finding a way to, because in that situation you really just don't want to give them a first down so that when they punt you get good field position, but they actually score points right there. So good team effort, man, a great opportunity to learn. There's a lot of things we can learn from it, but at the end of the day, the football team made a decision at the half to come out and find a way to win the football game, and they did.
Washington State backed up on a zone 2 or 1, was the plan to be aggressive there and try to get a safety for the game?
Yeah, so the plan was to be sound in what we were doing, to be aggressive, but then also, man, to play under control, because the last thing you want to do in that situation is be over aggressive in your play, and now you got a personal foul, you fall on the quarterback the wrong way, you get a pass interference, and now it's a first down. So it was in that situation, you want to be as sound as possible. And the way we've been playing the run, I felt like that we could hopefully contain the run, just didn't want to be able to break the pocket and get out and get on the perimeter, and they did a really good job. But, man, if y'all saw me, I was running around trying to get everybody to stay under control in that situation because, man, you got them where you want them, but you can easily let them out if you're too aggressive with your play. Now, we philosophically want to be aggressive, but with your style of play, you got to be smart in that situation, and it worked out for us.
You mentioned him, Jason Brevard seems to be always around the ball.
Yeah.
Deflection the first half and that pick.
Yeah.
How much have you seen him grow, and just how big has he been for you?
Yeah, he's been huge, man. He's made some really, really big plays, and he knows that I feel like he's got more in the tank, and I think he's, each week he's getting better, and he still has a ton of room to grow, but he just finds a way to make plays, and we need him to be able to do that, and I think he's starting to kind of create some energy and some confidence for the rest of the guys on defense to kind of follow suit and try and make some plays.
We know that it is not the ultimate goal for your program, but at the end of the day, first bowl game eligibility since 2021. How sweet is that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to be able to fist bump Dr. Williams in the hallway and just let her know how much I appreciate her support and all the administration support, the faculty and the staff and all they've done for this program and really that's for them. Right, I know that's something that they've been wanting and we've been building and working towards. But with the football team, we haven't talked about that. To be honest with you, 2 weeks we didn't discuss it, man. We just focusing 1 week at a time, and now we're kind of in a little different situation. Now we're not sneaking up on anybody, right? But this team has big goals, and I think a lot of people may have, especially at ACC Media Days, looked at me like I was crazy when I said this football team is thinking beyond just being bowl eligible. Man, they want to go and compete to see can they, play for the biggest bowl possible. And so far, they found a way. Right at the end of the day, man, we're going to celebrate a victory. I mean, that's a good football team that we found a way to win. It went down in the fourth quarter last week versus the number 4 team in the country. That team's getting better, but at the end of the day, I felt like the team, took a step in the direction of solidifying the belief that it takes to win games, and that's really what you saw in the second half. And we'll go back to work as a staff and as a team. I'm confident of that, of cleaning up all the other stuff so that we can
did not look sharp, certainly started slow. What are you seeing there? Is it a concern? And on Chad, did he ding his shoulder, or what was?
Yeah,
the-
so Chandler just took Chandler got fell on in the first half, and just he's been battling that. It's the same one from earlier in the season, so he's going to battle that all year long. But he's a warrior, and he bounced back, and I'll know more once we meet in the morning about the status of that. But the fact that he came back in and made plays in the second half lets me know that he should be all right. And offensive football is very rhythmic. Right, and it's 11 guys all on the same page at the same time. I felt like in the first half, just as a football team, and it's the hard part about managing success, right? Sometimes you got to go out there and you got to feel it for yourself. And I felt like our pad level was a little bit high, and we were just, in the past where we were falling forward, and pushing the chains, we were falling back, we were falling sideways, we weren't staying ahead of the chains, and then we'd have a penalty, right? Or we'd have something that would set us back. So we couldn't get into a rhythm. And then time of possession, they had really, really good time of possession in the first half. And then I felt like we started to get a little bit better rhythm. You started to see more of the explosives in the second half. We were able to kind of establish a little bit more in the run game, and still working with the group that we got up front. I mean, early in the season you had Brady in there, you had Drake in there, and so we're still kind of settling in there. But hey, they showed kind of glimpses of what they've been. 97 yards, no sacks. We just gotta continue to press on the little things, the details. But that same offense is in that locker room, so we're gonna keep working. They're gonna take pride in the way they perform, and at the end of the day, they found enough. Okay, but also it gives us enough kind of humble pie for us to keep on working, and for me, I like it as a coach because it gives me the opportunity to keep challenging them to chase their best game. Because I still don't think that our football team as a whole has played its best game in all three phases for 4 quarters.
You mentioned there, how the team at halftime kind of made that decision to come out and get the win. What was your message to them in the locker room, and how do you feel like they kind of responded?
Yeah,
to it?
I told them, I said, look, boys, there ain't gonna be a whole lot of yelling, because me yelling and just trying to create energy is not gonna get it done. This is a decision, right? It's gonna take a decision from everybody in this room to go fight for what it is that you want. Because in the first half, I felt like the team in the other locker room wanted it more, than we did. And I think we flipped it in the second half, and our team wanted it a little bit more and found a way to make more plays down the stretch. And then, I felt like we took pride in what we talk about a lot, and that's the fourth quarter. Get the game to the fourth quarter and then find a way to win it. So the message was really like, hey, this is not a me kind of giving you the answer type of deal. This is a collective group of young men deciding that everything that they want and that they work for, they're going to go scrap and battle and find a way. And that allowed them to create their own energy, right? To re-engage their focus, right? And if you watched it, right? And this is the hard part about managing success, right? And so late in the second quarter, I got a little bit upset because I started to see some things that were uncharacteristic of who we say we are as a team. And that's guys not jogging all the way off the field, right? We got a timeout, and I got a couple guys that are walking in the back, right? So I'm jumping their tail about that, because when we were kind of, jumping on people, it's when guys were running on and off the field and the little things. And that's what's so hard about this game, is to stay committed under all circumstances to the little things, the details, right? But I'm super proud, and it shows you the maturity, right, and the humility of this football team, that when they were challenged in that aspect, they responded. And then what you started to see that defense is getting on the field fast. That offense is running out there with a little bit more sense of urgency. And so then the details and all those things start to pick up. And then the energy picks up, and then here goes a big play, here goes an effective play, and now before you know it, you start to establish a little bit of a rhythm.
Washington State had a number of false starts called on them, several of them in really crucial times. Did you feel like the crowd had an impact?
Man,
on
most
that?
definitely. And you think about the last two home games that went down to some critical plays late in the game, were triggered by false starts, right? Florida State, and then you had 3 of them in a row, right here, and that's huge because then now, we have an opportunity to be a little bit more aggressive, and then they got to become a little bit more conservative, so to speak, because now they're 1st and 25 because they got 3 straight, and the cool thing was it was down here in the bowl end, right, not down there where the students are. So it's just, I think that people probably say I say it too much, or was he talking about, it takes us all, right, where we want to go as a football program, right, and what we're capable of becoming. Man, it's going to take games like this, not so sexy win, but a win's a win, right? And so we're learning, we're growing, and then now to have the crowd to have an impact on it, man, it's huge. And then when the energy, not just then, but all throughout the second half, right? When the energy is up, and it's 3rd down, and man, the crowd is loud, man, it just creates, more juice and excitement for those guys on the field, and so it was awesome to see the crowd. So I appreciate everybody showing up and appreciate people being here early. The students were awesome, and man, we can still continue as this football team still has more opportunity to grow. We can grow in that area to become, something all the way around that's really special.
Do you have an update on Xavier? On that
Yeah,
front?
I don't yet, other than, he went down with I think it was his left knee, and so they took him in to get some x-rays. They haven't told me the results of the x-rays. I'll know more definitely by the time we get back together on Tuesday. I'm hopeful that it's not too serious because, man, he was playing at a high level. Man, he's been awesome throughout the course of the season. He's battled injuries in the past. Man, he's been a warrior, so hopefully it's not too bad, but I don't have an update yet.
Tony, same thing. What about Cam Ross?
Cam Ross, that's more precautionary. And you take a hit like that, you don't want to put the young man in any further danger. It was a violent hit, and so we'll get some more evaluation in the morning with the doctor's check to know just how serious it is. But the early indication was that it was nothing major or long term. But you do have to be careful in that situation. He wanted to continue to play, but man, you got to do what's right and by the protocol with the medical staff when you start talking about hits up above the neck.
Thanks, everybody.
I appreciate it. Thank you.